All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another one. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. The main event for the WMMA fan. Let's talk about it. Alexa Grasso versus the Bullet, Valentina Shevchenko 3. All right, y'all. So, yeah, man, I told y'all, look, Valentina's too real of a champ to not make the right adjustments and pull out the tools that she already has, or maybe pull out a few things in there. She's too much of a champ to not do that, against a fighter she's fighting for a third time. That's why I said third time's a charm. Yeah, I think so this time. Yeah, Shevchenko went in there, dominated, took Grasso to school in a wrestling clinic, man. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, when it came down to it, this is kind of what I thought the first fight was going to play out as. Maybe it was going to end with a finish in the first fight, but this is the Bullet that I was talking about. This is the Bullet that I thought was going to bring that type of game. But you can't knock Grasso. Grasso forced Valentina to go back to basics here, and that's what she did. In the first fight, let's be real, Valentina was doing a little bit of fancy things. She was a little bit too fancy in there. She was doing some fancy things in there, and I think she was looking for a flashy finish against Grasso, and that's where they underestimated her, right? So Grasso, studying the whole stand-up and having her timing down, she just had the perfect game plan to execute against Valentina. This time around, Valentina kept her eyes on Grasso. Every round, she kept her eyes on her, and she said, all right, what is Grasso's big weakness? The takedown defense. She will accept takedowns like a Christmas gift. I mean, that's how it is with Grasso. So what did Valentina do in this fight? Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. It was just takedown after takedown in every round, And even on the feet, I think, Valentina was one step ahead this time, as far as her range. Grasso just looked a little bit flat this time, even with her boxing. She started off rounds in the orthodox stance here, and fire off a couple right hands, but Valentina was sharper this time. She was faster to step out of range. Grasso tried to make that subtle change to southpaw a couple of times, but she just couldn't put it together. She connected with, I believe, a few right jabs here and there, but Valentina was one step ahead whenever she would kind of dip her head now like she used to and land that hard right hook that would get Grasso's attention. So timing was back on point with Valentina here. She would land combinations in the pocket this time. Like, it was very, very few this time, like exchanges, but when Grasso would step in, Valentina would let several flurries go this time and try to end with a right hook, then go right back out of range. But her main game plan was to kind of throw Grasso off like she was going to exchange and get into that stance. But then what would she do? Boom, drop level, step down, take Grasso down. And that's how it started in the first round. And after I saw that pace set in the first round, I said, okay, either Grasso's going to accept this every round or Valentina's going to gas and have to stand with her. After that first round, Grasso was looking a little frustrated. Going into the second round, Valentina took her down again. She got to get back up, only to get taken down again. And this time when she was taken down, I mean, she looked like Grasso was in that little squirmy situation like she used to be. She was in those situations where, okay, she's going to make that adjustment and get back to her feet. A couple times, okay, she did, but going into like the third round, she just didn't really have like that same focus or hunger. Like, she could move, like Grasso was active on her back, landing a few shots in like the first couple rounds. Like, she was putting marks on Valentina's face with those shots off of her back, but she's not winning these rounds. Like, she was just putting herself in too much trouble here by accepting these positions. And that's something that you can see Grasso they didn't work on, like fighting off of their back, like being active off their back and looking for that opportunity to submit Val. Now, a guillotine opportunity did come up, but I didn't see like any threat there. Like, a lot of people saw a threat there, but even like Valentina said, the post-fight, she was good. That's why she gave that, she said, I'm good. There was nothing wrong there. She was going to get out of it. My main thing going in for Grasso as far as key to victory was look to use her jiu-jitsu here, because I knew there were going to be some moments where Valentina was going to be on the ground, but she was in there so many times. So with Valentina being a wrestler, Grasso should have been the jiu-jitsu specialist here, saying, okay, let's look for the submission. The armbar opportunities were there, but again, Valentina neutralized them. Just quick scrambles, good scrambles by Valentina at one point to get out of the armbar attempt from Grasso. I mean, it was like, wasn't a full-on armbar coming in, but the way Valentina got out of it was just like, oh, I'm out of this, and she was in her guard a lot too, but Grasso just couldn't capitalize on that. I think they were looking to see if they were going to box more with Valentina and not grapple as much. But Valentina's game plan was solid all the way through to just stick it out and grapple from rounds 1 to 5. Just take her down, and if it's on the feet, we just time her, hit her a couple of times with some, solid left hands. There's a couple of times that Valentina did knock her off balance, like not really like hurt her, but Grasso got hit with a couple combinations just like a right hook that just kind of, put Grasso on notice, and that's what I thought Valentina was going to do the first couple fights, keep that kind of pacing, and that's what she did. So yeah, all the way to the end, man, Grasso, she just got outworked, out-wrestled, put on her back, looked frustrated by the third and fourth round, didn't have an answer for these, she just didn't have an answer for these positions, from side control. The only thing she could get out of as far as like the danger was the rear naked choke. She was good at getting off of her back to a point, getting at an angle, and then she would give her back up to Valentina like she did the first and fifth round, but she knew how to fight off the rear naked choke. So her submission defense was on point like Marina Rodriguez, but as far as like fighting on the ground, it was like Marina Rodriguez. She was lost. No offense, no submission danger at all at that point. So, Valentina was just settled in and working. Not much ground and pound from Valentina here. Every now and then a few elbows, but I guess she didn't want to risk the arm bar or anything like that. She just wanted to control time, and that's what she got. Over 14 minutes, which is basically like 3 rounds. So that kind of tells you where Valentina was as far as her game plan and where Grasso was as far as her frustration. So 50-45 across the board. Valentina showed that, hey, let me use some of my old tools, go back to basics. Didn't really have to change much. Threw a few more shots, as far as her getting out of her comfort zone. Not really a lot of jabs like in the first fight or the second fight here. Not a lot of exchanges on the feet, like I said. So, yeah, Grasso just got out-wrestled and outclassed on the ground. And good, smart on Valentina. That's what a smart fighter does. At this point of their age, they don't want to take those shots, and they want to be the better fighter. They say, okay, let me go back to basics and use some things that I have. So, yeah. Classic fight? No, not necessarily a classic fight. A good technical fight. Like, I think people can learn from it. Like, if you want to learn how to fight, this is how you learn how to fight. It's definitely a good technical performance by Valentina. I enjoyed it at that, but it definitely wasn't like, a big highlight like that, like as far as performance. Highlight as far as Valentina becoming 2-time champion and shutting out Grasso. But yeah, I enjoyed the fight for that. But at the same time, we didn't see anything brand new from Valentina, right? We didn't see anything at that. And Grasso didn't really force her to do anything brand new. She more so forced her to go back to basics. And I give Grasso that credit. Grasso made Valentina humble herself and say, hey, we got to go back and do what we had to do, So, yeah, with that being said, we move on from this. No fourth fight anytime soon, unless they want to retire in the fourth fight, right? But we moving on. And I'm a little mad and disappointed at Joe Rogan here. Like, why didn't he bring up the beast name, Manon Fior, who made weight, was the backup, was present at the fight? Why didn't he try to set up like a stare down, or why maybe Manon's manager, they didn't try to get that cage time? Why was there no face-off, right? There should have been a face-off between Manon and Valentina at this point. She's, she beat Grasso. She's ready to put in that work, like she said in the post-fight interview. She said, hey, I'm, basically put bantamweight aside and said, hey, I'm trying to go back to work and getting my rubies, all right? So she's doing that. Should have brought Manon up in there and did the face-off. That was the only thing this fight was missing. That's the only thing it was missing. But moving on from here, I do want to say this. After watching this performance from both fighters, I will say, yeah, Valentina is still a smart fighter and still has it. But with this new crop of flyweights, I can still see some holes in her game where these girls can expose her. Number one, I do think Manon would have beat Alexa Grasso this night as well. I think that, with how her boxing and her timing looked, Manon would have been a lot quicker and sharper on it and stronger. Her punches probably would have knocked Grasso back and did a little bit more damage. I'm going to be real. And I think, yeah, Manon would have been stronger as far as clinch work and cage wrestling if she chose to against Grasso. She would handle Grasso. That's, how strong Manon is. It would almost be like Suarez type of strength that would be handling this version of Grasso. Now, would Manon beat Valentina? I think so. I think so. I think Valentina could beat Manon, though. That's how I think it's a good fight. I think Manon, again, would be able to stop all the takedowns. I guess I said it the same way she stopped Aaron's takedowns. I think she'd be stopping all these takedowns like she stopped Rose's takedowns. Yep, I said it. Manon would stop the takedowns, and as long as Manon would stay sharp on her feet and keep her chin tucked and avoid any spin kicks and head kicks to protect from the body from Valentina, and she get off first, and in that southpaw stance, and she learns how to really sit down on her shots and use that right hook, she could hurt Valentina. Because if Valentina's not looking to strike and you can hurt her and you can get the respect like Grasso did, then she's going to want to wrestle. And if you can't take Manon down, which is a big task right there, then the fight would definitely favor Manon. So if Manon can box and if Manon can box and hurt Valentina a little bit on the feet and keep that range, and Valentina can't take her down, she's unable to take her down, then Manon could win the fight. That's how I see it. Now, Manon would have to be careful of head kicks and sharp precision striking and timing of the Valentina, which is always going to be present, and body kicks. Those are the things you have to watch out for. This is a whole nother video, y'all. This is a whole nother video. I just wanted to fill that in on how I felt about the performance in this stage of Valentina and Grasso right now in their careers. But shout out to Valentina. I don't want to take away from her. She did what she was supposed to do. She brought the technician back, and she won. She dominated Grasso. That's it, 50-45. Don't get mad, y'all. Hey, if you're mad, get mad at your fighter Grasso. All right, don't get mad at Valentina. She did what she had to do, you know. Yeah, it wasn't like explosive and exciting, but what do you expect? I see this from Floyd. I see this from Demetrius Johnson. I see this from Bernard Hopkins. This is what happens when you got a technician in there and they go back to basics. So that's what it is, guys. But let me know, guys, what y'all think in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that came through, that came out from under their rock when Valentina won last night. But hit that like button if y'all like this channel and subscribe. This is WMMA Talk, Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.